Twilight might be the best vampire romance ever, but let's be real. There are parts of the books and movies that make absolutely no sense. Like, how did Bella get pregnant? And why isn't Edward glittering in the sun in Forks? Ugh, I can't even. These are the most glaringly annoying plot holes in the Twilight series. 1. Why didn't the Cullen sparkle during the day? We all know that the Cullens moved to Forks, Washington because it's crazy rainy, which meant they didn't have to worry about blowing their cover when walking outside during the day. The thing is, clouds don't completely block the sun's rays. So assuming the clouds in Forks didn't plunge the city into complete darkness, shouldn't the vampires have had a sparkly glow about them when they're outside? 2. How could Edward suck James' venom out of Bella? When James bites Bella's hand, Edward sucks the venom out of her wound to keep her from turning into a vampire. But how in the world does a vampire sucking venom out of a wound make any sense? Wouldn't he have just gotten his own venom into Bella's wound and turned her into a vampire even faster? Come on now, Stephenie Meyer. We're smarter than that. 3. Why was Edward stepping out in the sun in Volterra such a big deal? Remember that time Edward traveled to Volterra to flaunt his glittery bod in the sunlight and it was such a huge deal he could have been put to death for it? Answer this for me. Why? Most humans would have simply wondered if some pale guy had doused himself in a bunch of craft store glitter, not assumed he was a vampire. 4. Why did Edward have to visit Volterra to reveal himself anyway? Vampires were killed all the time by other vampires and werewolves. Why didn't Edward just pick a fight with the Quileute tribe instead of traveling all the way to Volterra, Italy to expose himself as a vampire in front of the Volturi? Plus, doesn't fire kill vampires? That would have been a way more efficient option than traveling to Italy. So dramatic. 5. Why did Jasper go so crazy over Bella's paper cut? Jasper is the youngest vampire in the Cullen pack, so he has the hardest time resisting human blood. But one would assume that since he goes to high school with so many humans, that he should have gotten used to minor bloody situations, like scraped knees in gym, bloody noses, and, oh, I don't know, paper cuts? So why did he go absolutely mental and try to attack Bella over a little paper cut during her birthday party with the Cullens? So extra. 6. Why does Bella's blood smell so good? Bella was Edward's singer, and every vampire has one, but there was some indication throughout the books that Bella's blood might have been more fragrant than other humans' blood, and not just to Edward. James also seemed to be more attracted to it, and Alice said that it smelled particularly nice. Some have theorized that Bella's blood was in fact special, but what is it that makes her blood smell so good? Is her blood laced with pizza sauce or something? What is it? 7. How could Alice see future stock market trends in her visions? Alice helps the Cullens make money by seeing future stock market trends with her powers. But what's confusing is Alice's visions are subjective and change depending on the choices individuals make. Quick finance lesson. Stock market performance is way more complex than one person making a single decision and the company's stock rising or plummeting as a result. Alice never could have seen a reliable vision of the future when it comes to the stock market. 8. How was Bella able to control herself as a newborn? We all know that it's a painful struggle for newborn vampires to control their urges so they don't go after every human the way you go after the last McNugget. As we all know, Jasper couldn't even handle himself around Bella's itty-bitty paper cut in New Moon, and he'd been a vampire for nearly 150 years at that point. Yet, after Bella turns, it takes her like 2 weeks to get her urges in check, apparently because she knew what to expect since she was so close to the Cullens. But that doesn't really make any sense. Bella had only known the Cullens for about 2 years at that point. How could Bella repress her overpowering bloodthirsty vampire urges just because she knew some vampires for a hot sec? 9. How could Bella and Edward kiss? In the books, vampire's skin is described as being marble-like in texture and harder than granite. If that's the case, wouldn't have kissing Edward been a total nightmare? Nothing better than having your human lips being squished between 2 slabs of rock, right? Not. 10. How did Bella get pregnant? In the book, when a human is turned into a vampire, all their body fluids turn into venom. So if all of Edward's body fluids are venom, that means he wouldn't have had any sperm to impregnate human Bella. Since venom is poisonous to humans, unless Bella's cervix is a magical venom filter, it should have at worst poisoned Bella from the inside out, or at best, not had any effect on her at all, right? Those were all the plot holes this fangirl found in the Twilight series. Did you find any more? If so, drop them in the comments.